We're live, so I assume that we're live.
All right. Well, I know I'm going to assume we're live, and I'm going to assume people are watching us. And I'm going to say thank you for joining us on our big virtual couch. I think it's purple. I don't remember.
Blue. It's
It's
blue.
blue.
We're blue.
Okay.
Dabba dee dabba die.
That makes sense. That seems to be a running theme with everything that happens on this network.
Yep.
And tonight we're going to talk about the first episode of Lost in Space, what we thought of it, if we loved it, if we hated it, and if you should watch it for yourself. And I'm going to say first thing we should do, first impressions. What did you think of it? And why is my Audacity suddenly not doing it?
Oh, please don't. Please don't.
No, it was recording. It just like, it stopped moving. And I was terrified.
Or maybe the first thing we should do, Drew, is say who you are. Because
I had so many problems tonight. I don't know how to talk to humans.
That's true. That is true. I'll kick off like the roundabout of hi. Hi, I'm Volley. I come from TLD. Welcome to our transatlantic sofa. I hope your sofa is comfy as the chair that I'm sitting in. Actually, I hope it's more comfy than the chair I'm sitting in because it's a cold office chair in the middle of a garage. So I hope you guys are way more comfy than I
am. And I'm Drew, and you probably know me from Taking Initiative. I would hope that's where you know me from. It's the only place I've been, except for one live stream before now.
You are so pro. All right, go first impressions. Go. What did you think?
First impression, I liked it. I wouldn't. It's not at the top of my list though. Like if I had other stuff to watch, that's not going to be the first thing I choose.
I'm gonna have to utterly agree with that because I watched it. I think like normally when I didn't realize how long it was, so I got to like 20 minutes. I'm like, oh man, how long we got left of this? Not because it was crap. I was just like,
it kind of dragged, right? Like just a little bit.
Just
not enough to be terrible, but just enough to be like around the 20-minute mark. You're just like, are we gonna wrap this up anytime soon?
Yeah, and then I hit pause on Netflix because that's my viewing platform of choice because I don't have any other choice. Basically, I think it's a Netflix original, right?
Yes, Netflix
so,
original.
Yeah, then there is no choice for anyone. You should be watching on Netflix. But yeah, I hit the 20-minute mark and I hit pause. And I'm like, there's another like, this episode's over an hour. When did that happen?
Yeah, it's way longer than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
And it was just long enough to be problematic.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god.
All right. Hi, Kit. Welcome to the...
Hi, kids. I apologize for all of the noise that's happening on my end to everybody. And this is a preemptive apology for the podcast version that's going to come out because it's not great. I didn't have enough time to turn my AC off. Everyone ignore that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Drew will get it in edit.
I'll do my best.
Drew will get it in edit. Yeah, so I don't know. It was just like, I liked it. It was interesting. It was cool, but it wasn't like, yeah, I say it's not on my like, I'm going to make time for this every week to watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to.
Agreed. I mean, we kind of have to at this point.
Yeah, we have to.
I was talking to my brother and cousin about it last night, and I was saying I liked a lot of stuff about it. I liked the actors in it. I liked some of the story stuff they were building. I thought the spaceship itself was kind of cool, but I also had a lot of little like minor problems with it. Not enough to be like if I was just watching on my own, not enough to be like I don't enjoy this, but enough that there's just little things that bother me.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's like someone put the milk in before they put like the hot water in for tea. It was just that. It's still tea. I'll still drink it, but it's not the right tea.
Exactly. And it's like they tried a little too hard to hit all those like, get it? We're doing Lost in Space, everybody. You remember that old show that probably no one alive has watched?
Did you watch the old show?
God, no. I've seen episodes of it because it exists in the world, but
that's a step more than I did because I didn't pick that up. I picked up we need to hit emotional beats here, we need to explain all the characters, we need to do all of this thing, and then it's Lost in Space, and then it took me forever to realize it's Robinson Crusoe. I'm like, oh yeah, that's why all the characters have the same last name.
It is but yeah, they just hit enough stuff. They hit these things. I mean, I definitely saw the emotional points you're talking about, but they hit these like things that were so just like, you guys get this, right? Wink. So yeah, I got it. Calm down.
See, because
Like,
I have never interacted with the old series. I missed all that.
but like the classic robot thing, right? Like the robot says, "Danger, Will Robinson."
No.
That's like the thing. It's basically the pop culture thing of Lost in Space. It's probably the only thing that I know of that has survived as like actual pop culture.
No.
Okay, well,
No.
but I feel like they shoehorned that in there.
So was
Minor spoiler: it's in the first episode. So if you want to hear that, watch the first episode, and you're done.
That's it. That's all you need to know. If that's what you're all there for, then yeah. No, I say because I don't have any compos mentis of that series. I don't know if it's a big thing in the UK, but it's not a big thing for me. So yeah, there's just like yeah.
Also, minor complaint about the whole Danger Will Robinson thing. That's not a helpful warning.
It's not supposed to be a warning, isn't it? A question.
Is it?
That's what I picked off of it, because like he's looking at like, okay, we have to yell out spoilers here.
Yeah, sorry for spoilers, everybody.
We are reviewing a show. There's a degree of spoilers here. This is definitely a spoiler. But the we'll call him Robot Dude for now. I had another name in my notes, but I'll call him Robot Dude now. So Robot Dude is standing there, and he looks at Will. He looks at the girl in the ice, looks at Will, then goes, "Danger, Will Robinson." Because it's computerized voice, you don't get the inflection at the end. But I picked that up as like, is she in danger? Is there a problem? I picked up as a question. I think it's just me. Like, I would be asking if it's a question, but that's what I got from it.
But that's the thing is, I know in the original show and in the terrible 1990s movie that I don't know if you watched, but we should watch that at some point.
Nope. Maybe we should watch it after this, because then I might understand what the hell you are on about.
That's fair. It's really bad though. It's got Gary Oldman in it. A lot of problems. We'll watch it. Anyway, it's the old show and the 1990s movie. It's definitely the robot exclaiming like, "Oh, danger! Watch out! There's danger around." But like, that's not helpful. Like, just yelling danger at somebody, what are they gonna look out for? Everything. Like, okay,
yeah,
you're walking down the street.
Is it like fire? That's specific. Drowning.
Exactly.
That's specific. Or,
look out for fire. Look out for drowning. Yeah. These are things to watch for.
Exactly. Danger is not very helpful, because then you still have to do your Dr. ABC crap anyway. Like, is there danger? Yes. Do you respond to it? No. Well, I'm out of here.
Not to mention, that robot.
Okay, we need to talk about the robot. We have to talk about the robot.
We do.
Right, I'm going to shout out from chat first, because, live audience. Sprocket's comment is that the new Liz?
The new Liz, I think, is that's her name, I'm pretty sure.
What, the robot?
No. The oh my god. One of the characters.
Oh, I forgot to put their names down.
I only remember one of them. No, I remember two of them.
See, I think that's supposed to be the robot, because Sprocket's talking about a chimp with feathers for ears.
Never mind. They're saying Lost in Space. They were abbreviating it.
See,
and we're
Sprocket is yeah, he's hip with the times. We're clearly not.
So old.
Not even a chimp with feathers for ears. Yeah, I think that's your comment on the whole thing. So yeah, we are so stupid. I'm so sorry. Other kids, stranger danger hashtag is perfect. All right, let's talk about the robot, because yeah.
What was your initial impression of the robot?
I didn't get that it was one robot. I thought there were two separate robots. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. They look fucking terrifying.
Wait a second. You thought there were two robots, one of which was only legs.
I just thought it was some okay, I've come into this not knowing anything about Lost in Space at all, right? I'm completely oblivious to the whole thing, except I think it's probably Robinson Crusoe. That's all I've really got from it, okay? So I just see this weird alien thing running through the trees, heading towards this kid, spoiler alert, running towards this kid, and like, oh, that's a cool monster robot thing, that's rad. And then like the kid's up in the tree, and you see another robot with like a big fish tank on its face with like someone's stuck it's constantly shaking like a snow globe with red glitter in it, and that's what's inside this thing's head.
Yeah, it's either a red snow globe with glitter, or if anyone's been in a Spencer's in the last 30 years, one of those like weird plasma discs.
Yeah,
they're It's like, ooh, electricity.
but red. And it
Yeah,
has had these arms things, and it was stuck on the end of a branch. I'm like, oh, that's also a cool robot. Nice. He seems to be stuck between two robots trying to kill him. And then when he cut the thing down, I'm like, oh, that's kind of nice. You know, he's giving him a chance to get away or back to his family, what it is. And then, like, it merged into one super robot. I'm like,
it's
oh, that's
one.
a transformer robot. Oh, it's one robot.
Okay, I have a couple things to say about this robot. One, and I'm just gonna say right off the bat, kid climbs a tree. You have to look up to climb a tree, probably, like when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
initially going. And he doesn't see this giant fuck off robot in a tree.
Yeah,
How
like,
blind is this kid?
the top half of this robot is basically bigger than this kid. It's
Right?
ridiculous.
It's so big. And then my other problem with the robot is that it goes from this really cool robot to what is very obviously a dude in a suit, which just kind of makes me sad.
Oh yeah, because it does like this thing where like so basically the robot like it looks like it's trying to claw at Will, who's the boy, right? That's the kid's name. Yeah.
His name is Will.
His Will. Oh, nailed it. So you see this robot like with its like 4 tentacly arm things with pincers on the end going for the kid, and he's like, this is terrifying. And then like the robot becomes one mega dude, becomes Megazoid, picks up the kid as the like the forest is on fire. You're like, oh no, the forest is on fire, and like basically bounds away. And the next shot we see is like the 4 pincery arms going towards the child to like, I don't know, make peace or something, and sees the kid is terrified.
Whatever that was.
And then it does this weird kind of like, okay, I say weird, I actually fucking love this transformation. I love the way it looks because the arms came together, they did a cool thing, like plates shot down it, and then it stood up as a humanoid figure. I'm like, oh man, that's kind of lame. The transformation was awesome.
Oh, I was gonna say that the transformation looked so cool and interesting, and then it was just like, well, we paid this guy $30 to stand in this weird suit all day. Because that's now that's not the level of budget you obviously have, but that's kind of the level of robot budget they had.
Yeah, I mean the robot with like the 4 pincery arm things that it had, and like I think maybe it was like 3 or 4 legs as well. I can't really remember, to be honest. But there was like
it was two like those like little like backward knee legs that like dogs have.
Yeah. It had that, and it looked really rad and really cool. And I'm like, that's terrifying. I can understand why this kid is terrified of that robot. Apart from the fact it has a snow globe in its head, which totally like ruined the effect for me. But other than that, it was cool. And then like it did the transformation thing. It's like, this is gonna be cool. What's it turning into? And then it turned into a humanoid figure. I'm like, oh no.
Right. It's really just a letdown.
Yeah. It was kind of sad, but it was.
And
this
is probably the most major spoiler I want to talk about because
Okay.
it really just makes me so angry. So the robot turns into a boring humanoid human robot. Just kind of a letdown on that, but not terrible. Then the next shot is the family being sad because there's, I'm just going to say, somebody trapped in some ice. And they're all like, this is sad, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to like make it as little as a spoiler I can.
It's not Will. Hint.
It's not Will. He's not in the ice, which based on Lost in Space, you would think it was him trapped in the ice because all he does in that whole show is just bumble around like a fucking idiot.
Okay.
But then they're like, oh, this is so sad. This person's trapped in the ice and they're gonna die. And then Robot walks up without Will.
Yeah.
Just walks up. And the family, which is the correct response, is like, holy shit, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, the dad like pulls out a knife, right? And he's like, he's clearly not gonna win, but he shows the protective fatherly instinct of like, fuck off, get out of my place.
But like a solid minute later, Will runs up. He's like, oh, this guy's with me. Where the fuck were you?
Okay, so the thing I had on that, right? So like robot cool monster like picks up Will and basically bounds through this like fiery inferno and then like drops him off the other side. Why would he not be carrying him? He's gonna be a small child in the snow, in trouble, and he can move faster.
He can move so much faster, and he definitely could have moved faster because when he first picks him up, he jumps like 100 feet.
Yeah, and he jumps up into a tree and then like further off. Anyway, yeah, I know that. For me, it's just like, that was clearly just like one of those like, are they in danger? Oh, look, the hero. Okay, this is the thing. This is the problem I have with this, right? So you have like the family, minus Will, like surrounded on like the top of this ice, like this hole they've dug down to like somebody's hand who is frozen in ice, and the hand freezes back over because like rain falls and it freezes again, and it's a sad time. And they're all sad and really upset. And then this robot turns up and is basically hero. like turns up like, hey, it's literally hand of God moment for me. I'm like, I really hate
really
that because it
is.
means everything that they've gone through so far, like they've struggled together as a family to do to get this point, has basically just been wiped out by the fact that like hand of God literally walked down, melted the ice, grabbed the person, and then returned them back to the family. And then this is the bit that really got me, and my notes for this are fucking ridiculous. Will turns and says, "Is there anything you can do to stop us from freezing?" And they basically turn him into a space heater.
Yeah, they turn him into a space heater. Like, that's not a problem. I honestly thought for a moment, I thought they were gonna have the fucking the absolute balls to be like, yeah, guess what? Character's dead in the first episode.
Yeah, I was
like,
hoping that. I mean, don't get me wrong, like that character is one of my favorites. Like I basically have two favorites from the family, and that character is one of them. I'm like, if they had the balls to kill them this early, holy fuck balls, that would be amazing.
Right.
But they didn't. They had of godded the thing. I think it's because obviously that I don't know what's going, but I assume they want that character to continue through because they were one of the most interesting. I'll be honest.
They are, and also the most helpful, but with apparently the only one in the family with any sort of first aid knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's literally Robinson Crusoe in space, kind of important to have someone who knows general medicine.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
exactly.
a little bit. Yeah, like but I do like. I mean, that was enough. I feel like that was plenty of complaining.
Oh, that was plenty of complaining about the robot. Let's move on. All right, I'm gonna say this though: the robot does look cool even as a humanoid form, but I was let down by the fact it became a humanoid form.
Yeah, no. I mean, there are definitely neat things about it being human, but it's kind of just like, all right, you made him a human, I guess. Thanks.
Yeah.
Things I did like about it though, like I said, I really like the big spaceship. I don't remember the name of it. I think it's the Redemption. Like we actually get to see it. I'm gonna go with
yes. I think it is the Redemption. Yes. Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. I really like the look of it. I liked the reason they had for leaving Earth, because in the movie, from what I remember, it was just, let's explore space. Like they were part of that whole thing, and then they got sucked through a black hole or something. I don't remember the whole movie. It's been a while. But they got sucked through a black hole or something and stranded somewhere. The show I don't remember either, because again, never watched it, but I don't think I've ever heard why they were on the planet to begin with. But I liked their reasoning for this family being up in space to begin with.
Yeah. We should definitely, like, all right, yeah. So like talking about like the spaceships, I really like, is it called the Jupiter?
All the like the family pods, the Jupiters. Yeah,
I love that because as soon as I saw it like panning out and we saw this kind of this kind of ship that they're in, I was like, wow, it looks like a not shitty version of Millennium Falcon.
It does. Yeah. On top of which, I like the idea because honestly, if you were gonna do some sort of colony ship, it makes sense. You build small family pods, attach them to a large ship, take that somewhere. The pods go down to the surface and become your initial housing.
Yes, exactly. I thought that was like, it was really like well given over. I mean, because like the opening shot. I'm going to talk about the opening because I really kind of like the opening, apart from like one thing, and I'll get onto that. So like we start around like seeing all of these people being like strapped in, like safety harnessed around this table, and it becomes evident they're in space because they're playing cards and they're like, you know, the cards are floating. Nothing else in here is floating at all. I mean, they're really well sat down. The straps aren't like, they're not straining against them or anything, but it's clearly in space. That's how it's set up. And inside of it reminded me very much of Alien. Like the initial ship that they're on, Nostromo.
The Nostromo.
Thank you, that one. Because everything in it's like really clean. It's very white, and it just has that kind of like, yeah, this is what you would expect something like this to be. And it was really cool. And then they have like the little conversation, and they begin to like playing Go Fish as a family, and it's like, oh, that's kind of cute, that's kind of cool. And you kind of get their characters almost from the start there, and I really like how it was just that really one simple little scene. We get their names because either they're on their things or they call each other their names. And they're playing cards. It's a nice little family dynamic. And then of course like shit hits the fan and they crash, and it's really cool.
Of course.
Spoiler alert. If you hadn't guessed, spoiler alert.
They get trapped somewhere. Don't know if you know that.
Don't know if you know that. But yeah, it's a really like a cool little thing, and I love the way that looks. Okay, I remember now. Two problems I had with that scene. One, their dad, who's like passing around the cards, is fucking expert at passing those cards in
Right? Oh, I love
space.
that one.
It's like perfectly in space, just throwing these cards out to like the family. It's like, holy crap! How often have you practiced this? It was
I
really
have
cool.
an answer for that.
Oh,
Or not an
okay, go for it.
not a real answer. It's because he was clearly special forces and he knows how to turn anything into a deadly weapon. So it's like he's good. It's like trying to kill someone with a card, but just
So he's
pulling
ninja
back
starring
on
his own kids.
yeah. But like
That's
he pulls
amazing.
it back enough that they're like, oh, I can grab that easily.
That's actually amazing. I'll take that. That's cool. And then the only other thing is that when they were crashing, like they have all these like obviously they have all these like cargo boxes and stuff and crates and whatnot, because you know there's supposed to be stuff in there that they're supposed to use to colonize and restart and rebuild, yada yada, all that good stuff. When they start crashing, these boxes fly around everywhere. It's like, we've mastered boxes not flying around in airplanes. How can we not do this in space?
Right? Like how can we not do it?
It's like having literally just been on a plane, like probably less than 24 hours ago. I'm like, if we crash, those boxes aren't coming for me. They are secure. But on this like well-designed, future-engineered thing,
Well,
they found a way of securing the boxes.
the obvious difference is that in a plane, they're above you, and the door opens perpendicular to the bags. Whereas in this, it was poorly designed in that the boxes were just stuck in a cubby.
Yeah, yeah. But of course, you know, I think a degree of plot there for that though, because they needed to do something horrific to one of the other characters. It's like, okay,
Oh, of course.
all right, sure, I'll take
Which
it.
also, when they landed, and it was like the ship was like, oh, the landing area is not secure or not stable, and they got out. At first, I was like, what the fuck do you mean? You're on ice. This is about as stable as you can get.
I had the same thought. It's like, you're a nice motherfucker. You're gonna be
Like
fine.
you're fine.
Actually,
Calm
the first thought I saw when it revealed, because they escape through the top hatch and it ends up being that the smallest kid is the only one who can get out, and they're like, we have to find another way, yada yada. So this kid climbs out and like it reveals to be snow, and I'm like, my first thought honestly was, that's chill. I just couldn't help it. I'm like, this is obviously going to be the show for me, and like 15 minutes later I regret that thought.
You gotta have a pun just right in the middle, of course.
Yes, of course. I have to. It was there. But yeah, so yeah, it was interesting them crashing into the ice, because obviously your first thought is, oh, they're on an ice planet.
That's what I thought. I'm glad they didn't go with Ice Planet, because while that is a thing in Star Wars, that's not how
Planets
life works.
No, especially not one with a breathable atmosphere.
Exactly.
That's not how that shit works. So yeah, they land on ice, and again, spoiler alert, they get some stuff out, including the tent, because that's handy.
Gotta have a tent, yeah.
And then the water, so they land on ice, the ice breaks, and the ship goes down into the water. And then it begins to freeze rapidly. I don't know, is that a thing? That was my first thought. It's like, I want to know if that's a thing, and is it honestly that quick?
I could see it freezing rapidly, and I could see it starting where it started. My problem with it was that the ship sat there, and then all of a sudden was just like, and now I'm 50 feet below the water
Well,
level.
no,
It's like,
that is a thing, because it's like static pressure in water. After amount of time, it will just build up, and then it will go down to the bottom. But I just didn't see why it would suddenly freeze.
The way that they presented it was that the top layer of ice, the one closest to the heat, was perfectly fine, but it was melting below the ice, and then it reached the top and was like, okay. It's like it wasn't sinking in such a way as like you would.
Yeah, think about it. It's like if it was frozen, if it landed on on water, then yeah, it was on a thin layer of ice on top of a bunch of water. The water underneath would have frozen already. Yeah, I guess I missed that.
But other than that, like, I could see it freezing rapidly if it got cold enough, but I feel like if it was that cold, they'd already be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. I just don't know if it. I mean, the whole thing is that one of the family members jumps down into the water to go get them a better battery pack so that they don't freeze to death overnight, because it's like, if we don't get it, we're going to die, because we're going to freeze, because all the power packs will just die. It's just too cold. So one of them like puts their helmet on and they jump into the water, and it's really heroic or stupid depending on what situation you think you're in. They go down into the garage level through like the conveniently open side door, because they left it open. It was a big thing. There's a shot dedicated to seeing that. I'm like, that's a plot point for later.
Of course.
It was, yeah, it was just there. So they jump down and they grab the battery pack and they start swimming up. And as they're in the garage, the lower level, you can see the ice. You see the water beginning to freeze, and it looked awesome as hell. It was like
Really good.
snowflakey like whole thing going on. It just like began to like spread out all this crystalline, and it looked awesome. And as you were seeing them swim towards the surface, it was just like, this is just really freaking cool. Like, you would feel terrified. And you know, the one of the characters says to drop the battery, and they do, and they begin to swim up, and eventually they get stuck. You know, they get frozen there anyway. You think, oh no, they're going to be toasted. This is not good. And then, you know, it turns out they have a little bit of time, which is great, because then they can have the whole, like, saying goodbye to a dead person thing, and it's really cool. But yeah, so they get stuck in the ice, and that whole sequence is just really cool, because it defines who that character is. The effects on it were freaking awesome, and they did what any sane person would do. Drop the battery! Which is pretty fucking
Don't
good.
need that.
Yeah, it's like they actually did the thing. It was just unlucky that they couldn't get out in time. It was just... I love that whole scene. I love that whole, like... Because when they then take a shot on the character inside their suit, it's really a claustrophobic shot, because it's right in on their face, and you can see like their helmet and how clear it is around them, so they can clearly see that they are stuck in ice. There's no if, buts, or whens about it. They can see their own doom coming. It's like, that's fucking awesome.
Right. That was a really good scene, and it set a really good tone for the show.
Yeah, I think so.
Of like, oh yeah, these people are in danger, which I also felt they kind of backed off on with the fact that Xavier, like, not to be that person, but
You
they
are
really
that
needed
person.
to. Okay, fair. They needed some red shirts to die in this episode to set the tone fully.
Yeah.
Like, they needed somebody who was just like, I don't know, fall into a spike pit or something. So you'd be like, oh, okay, it's that kind of place.
Yeah, I mean, because like the fact that they got frozen in place so quickly in the episode, so it probably was about half hour through. I don't really remember, to be honest. But the fact they got frozen in place is like, wow, they are ballsily actually in trouble. They are genuinely kind of screwed. This is a place that could kill you. This is really rad. I love it. And then obviously Savior turns up and things are not the same. But
yeah,
if they had killed that character off, that would have just like, holy Hannah, because I genuinely felt for that character. I'm like, oh my god, they are useful. They are a strong person. They clearly take risks, like, to save their family, and like, I can dig that. I like this person. And they, like, one of the things they do in this episode, I don't know if it's going to be a recurring thing, because, you know, I haven't watched ahead. They do flashbacks to when they're on Earth and why they decide as a family that they're going to go do this thing. And she turns to the little kid, because he thinks he's failed one of the tests. And she dumps all of her manuals. She's already in. And she basically says, don't worry about it, you're getting in, so I'm going to use your manuals. Like, she is probably the most badass character out of the family.
Oh, 100%.
Just absolutely.
Yeah, she very much believes in her family and how they're always going to stick together. And it's a very nice, like, uplifting family moment where that happens. And also, to answer Sprocket's question, I don't know if they actually watched it, but it's because they're on a glacier. They're on the top of a glacier. So the nice warm forest is on the bottom of the glacier.
Oh yeah, so we talked about the forest a little bit. You know, they one of the things is that, you know, this kid is trapped in ice. Oh crap, I've said too late. I think I already indicated it was a kid anyway, whatever. Spoiler. Like, you know, Will mentions that there is magnesium up there and it burns hotter on ice or whatever. So him and one of the characters go off and get the magnesium, and Will falls through a hole in the ice or something, I don't really remember, in like this ice cave, and they go all the way down to the bottom and they pop out and hey, there's a forest. And the other character's like, well, I can only save one of you right now, and the other one is literally dying and running out of air, so I'm gonna go save that one first.
Also, to be fair, 100%, Will's not useful.
Yeah, Will was terrible.
He's like, I don't know, 8. I don't think he has any actual skills that he demonstrated.
I think he's just supposed to be smart.
I guess, but he definitely didn't see a robot in a tree, so...
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between book smart and being wise. It's the difference between the intellect stat and the wisdom stat.
I guess that's true.
He's high on intellect, dumb stat was wisdom, clearly. But I think like Will's place in this is to be that smart kid who occasionally drops the plot point to get things moving on, and he's also the link to the robot. So,
I mean, that's all it is. He's a link to a robot, so they could have a robot in this. But it's like, do we need a robot? Do we really need a robot?
Well, let's be honest. She fell through ice. Well, she's stuck in ice.
Okay,
They
fair.
really need her. I mean, they could have freed her with the magnesium, and it was a solid plan.
It was a
I'm
solid
really
plan.
sad that they didn't allow that to be a thing, because it means as a family it's something that they did together rather than, oh, Rebitude's got this.
I'm really waiting to see if the family ever pulls anything off without the robot solving it in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, if that's going to be a continuing case, I hope it's not. I really hope it's not. Same. Because their family dynamic, you got it like through this series of flashbacks. You begin to learn that, you know, there's a, as they do in most things these days, there's a rift between the parents, and that's not great. I'm not entirely sure how it ended up being that he's now on this mission too, because she says, you know, give
I'm sure we'll find out.
I'm hoping we'll find out, which I'm assuming is going to indicate there's going to be more flashbacks. So as long as they manage it as well as they did in this one, we're going to be good. I thought they did them fairly well. It could have been worse.
Definitely. And like I said, I like some of the stuff they built as the family through the flashbacks.
Oh, yeah.
And I like where the direction that I'm sure it's going to go in. Like, I like that kind of idea. But I don't know, the planet they landed on, at that point, I was kind of like, okay, I guess I'm here. I'll finish this. But the flashbacks were good. The first scene was really good. I don't know. Like, this first episode didn't hook me the way I was really hoping it would.
No, I had the same thing. I think you know, for me, again, I mean the acting was good. I'm not a huge fan of child actors. I don't think they can always pull it off. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just not a huge fan. And I don't know if it's Will's character or what. I think it's his character. I hate bumbling useless things. It's like, why are you here? You're 8 years old or whatever it is. You would have no place here. But I really like the character gets trapped in the ice. I think they're honestly, for me, the most interesting thing in this family. I'm interested in the dynamics between the parents, because clearly something has worked out or not worked out or whatever. And you know, I always have a soft spot for soldiers. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're cool people. But you know, it's I don't know. I just think the one trapped in the ice, I think, for me was the most interesting, and I want to definitely see more of that character. The others, I'm not too worried about. They can all die off.
I kind of agree. I mean, honestly, the whole like testing in thing, like, I get it. Like, you only have so much time. You can only build so many ships. That whole what they're doing. I'm pretty sure anyone under the age of, like, I don't know, 10, and I'm pretty sure Will is, again, probably 8, I'm assuming. I can't tell children's ages at all.
Me either.
I don't feel like they would test that person, because they're like, you don't weigh that much, and you can be taught some sort of trade skill that we'll need.
Yeah, I don't, like, I very much felt like the parents had particular skill sets. That's why they'd be there. The really cool character has clearly learnt, like, medicine. They're clearly a medic of some sort. That's the thing that they've learnt. They're still a child, they're still a teenager, but that's their skill set. The other two, I don't know what their skill set would mean that they'd be here, other than they are. And if they're just here because they're related to the other ones, why do they need to be tested, like, at all? Because the other kid, which we haven't really mentioned because she's such a non-starter. I don't know what she does.
Anything.
Yeah, she was the physical, like, apparatus to perform the operation on the other one, which was done from the cool character who's like, I did this thing. Yeah, I know this thing. I need you to do it because I can't do it because I'm stuck in the ice. She was still useful stuck in the ice. She was more useful stuck in the ice.
Yeah, I didn't get anything through the flashbacks about what that other character was.
No.
Just to the point that I don't remember their name.
Huh. I'm usually good. That's not true. I'm very good with, like, gamer names. I'm terrible with real names. I think the young kid is called Will.
Will is the young kid.
One of the kids might be called Judy.
Judy is one of them.
I don't remember the parents.
I don't remember the parents, and I don't remember the other girl.
Okay. Well, we remember the two important characters, I think, from this. Penny.
Kit says Penny. That's right.
Thank you, Kit. Thank you so much, Kit. That's a good call. I do also have to shout out to Sprocket because he said something that made me laugh really hard, but it wasn't time to insert it in. Now we're looking at the chat, which is that Will is a bargain basement Wesley Crusher. I love you so much, Sprocket. This is the perfect. Yes, I feel that so much. Alright, I gotta do it. Like Wesley Crusher was put in to help bring in the younger audience into sci-fi and to go into Star Trek and go, oh hey, this is like the voice of reason and you know the voice of this, and it doesn't matter how old you should always be listened to and respected. But universally, adults hated him because he was an annoying little know-it-all. This kid is annoying, but not as a know-it-all. Will's not. Yeah. No.
No. I don't know why everyone's like, you know what? I mean, I get representation's great, but just like generic bumbling child representation, we don't need that. No one needs that.
We don't need that anymore.
Like, we all get that children are bumbling, apparently. So we can leave that one at the door.
Yeah. All right, so we basically, the real quick gist is, on a ship, they crash. Kid sodded. One gets stuck in the ice. The other finds a way to get the other one out the ice. Comes back with robot, saves family. Right.
Yep.
And then the ending happens.
Oh yeah.
I had in my notes, thank fuck it didn't end with the space heater being the thing that we pan out on. It's just like, why? So we go to the interior of the
Redemption.
The Redemption.
I'm pretty sure it's the Redemption.
We'll call it the Redemption, and someone can yell at us if we're incorrect. Whatever. So we cut to the interior of this, and we see that, oh no, the robot monsters that, you know, that the Robinsons have made friends with are attacking the Redemption?
Yeah. Again, unless someone in the chat corrects us, I'm going with the Redemption.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, we'll go with that. So they're running around and they're slicing and dicing and hitting and all that good stuff. And this doctor falls over and this woman comes up and like he's like, "Oh no, we're in trouble," and she sees that he is a doctor. So she basically persuades him to give her his jacket, and she just leaves him there whilst everyone's being attacked, and she finds the appropriate Jupiter that this person has been assigned because they have one, and they cold as ice walk in there, bring in the two arguing mechanics who are clearly going to be screwing at some point because dude, they need to get a room. I don't know if they are already, but they are clearly giving off the we need to be shagging vibe. It's going to be a romance thing. They have to put it in somewhere. That's going to be a obligatory thing. And they go in there, this woman wearing this stolen jacket, and they're like, I'm really sorry, miss, that your family's not joining us. And she's like, I'm not miss, it's a doctor. And we're like, oh, she's clearly some sort of, I want to know more about this one. I really do. They are cold.
Yeah. In the old show, that was some guy named Dr. Smith, who was a terrible person. But speaking only from the old show, because I don't know what they're going to do with this one, Dr. Smith was a manipulative, evil person who they couldn't apparently just beat to death with a rock because he was always so important.
Yep.
But, like, it was always like, oh, something happens that will kill all of us. We need Dr. Smith to help. And Dr. Smith would be like, oh, I'll help you if I get this thing that I want. And it's like, the correct response is you put that person in a locked room, and then when something happens you need their help, you go, okay, help us. And if they respond with no, only if you let me out, you go, okay, well, we're all gonna die, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, first time they're like, yes, I'll help you, but you go, nope, we're done.
No, we're done. We're out of here. Because if you don't help, we're all going to die anyway, and then you'll be dead soon. You'll get fuck all. Let's be honest.
This is true. Sprocket said if it was an RPG, the party would have spaced Dr. Smith in week 1. Which is true.
Yes. And yeah, so you see like the Dr. Smith woman, who clearly isn't actually Dr. Smith. They are just a person at this point. They stole their credentials and their jacket over. And the two mechanics who should be getting a room get in this Jupiter with the doctor, and they take off from the main ship Redemption, which is being blown apart vaguely. I can't remember. Basically being attacked by robots. And you see them take off, and a bunch of other Jupiters take off. And then you see, I think, the power die or something, and they all get pulled backwards. And I think they were pulled through a wormhole because there was some weird purple timey-wimey crap effect going on. I say crap effect. It was a good effect. Don't get me wrong. It was a cool looking effect, but it was like, what the am I looking at? And then I think everything goes whoosh in that kind of like cliche thing, and everything disappears.
It does, and then the credits roll.
And then the credits roll. I
Which
think
is-
that's either a wormhole or it's a really crappy bomb. I don't know.
Crappy bomb. I think it's a wormhole because that is the only reason. It's the wormhole in the way that, for the same reason in Lost or the original Lost in Space, where it's like, well, somebody would just send a ship on the same the same path you went on, and they would find you. You have to get them off the path so that nobody can rescue them.
That's right. Yeah, you have to properly strand them.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like wait 6 months or something, and then somebody else shows up.
Yeah. Although in the end of the day, surviving for 6 months will still be a struggle anyway. They're still going to get 6 months.
That's true.
And then,
especially if they went hardcore and made the atmosphere not breathable,
yeah,
then it would have been really difficult because any tear in your spacesuit and you're
dead.
done.
You're toasted. Yeah, you got to carry around that duct tape like there's no tomorrow.
And then we just get to watch a TV series version with a family of The Martian.
Yes.
But they don't grow their own potatoes. They're on a very lush, nice world.
Yep. So we are left at the end of episode 1 with Robot Dude. We need do you know if Robot Dude has a name, or should we just give him one?
I'm pretty sure he's just robot. Like, I'm pretty sure he's always just going to be robot. But we can call him something.
We need to
I'm going to call him Spencer because of his face.
Okay, Spencer. All right. Okay, we'll call him
Spencer.
Spencer.
Is the robot.
All right, you're going to need to remember this. There's a chance I won't.
I will make a note of it after, when I can actually use my real computer and not
the potato laptop.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we're left at the end of episode 1 with Spencer acting as a giant space heater, which just the irony makes me laugh so much. The family are all together, and we know that that the redemption has been pulled through a wormhole of some sort, and that there is a person pretending to be a doctor and 2 mechanics who should be shagging, but we don't know if they are or not. I think that's where we leave the end of episode 1. I thought it was okay as an episode.
Because I love you, Kit. God. I just want to be so close to the viewers.
Well, if we want him to be smaller, I can do that next time.
No, make me bigger.
Notes
just putting me closer.
I can't make you bigger. I can't move my frames. All right, so yeah, I didn't mind the episode. It's one of those that, like, I've given shitter series more time.
Yeah.
Like, overall, I did kind of like this. I liked the robot. I liked the way the robot changed if I didn't like the end result, because it was disappointed that was the result. It was a cool looking robot anyway. I love the crashed robot ship, and that looked really cool. Will could be a very good character, and we saw him grow as a person in episode 1. The only one who did, and it was very cool. They went from being this, like, terrified kid who always froze up on everything to actually doing a good thing for a robot, and it paid off. So do good things happen.
Exactly.
And I want to explore that family dynamic. Obviously, I only have an hour or whatever it was to get that far. It's like, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it, if they do it well. And I really want to see more of the kid stuck in the ice, because holy crap, that kid is cool.
She is amazing. I want to see way more of that character and pretty much less of all the other ones.
Yeah, if they wiped everyone else out, just left her alone with Spencer, I'd watch that series.
I'd watch it. It would definitely be a weird series, but I'd watch it.
Yeah, I'd be in there. So, all right.
Final thing. What do you like? Let's say if you had to rate it out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
I don't know. Oh man, that's a tough one. I want to say a solid 3. Maybe bridging into 4. I don't know. It's not quite a 4 in my opinion. Like, 4 is something I'd happily watch. Like, I'd binge, like, no, that's not true. I'd probably binge this series too in like a single hit if if we weren't doing this weekly. Just because I have that thing. But yeah, it's a solid 3. If you kind of like that kind of thing, it would go watch it. But there are things about it that need to be improved for sure. There are fears and hopes for this series. That's why it's a 3. What about you?
I'd honestly 2.5, like literally middle of the road. I'd binge it too, because I tend to binge everything I watch.
Mm-hmm.
I binge all of my media, but it so far didn't hook me. It's kind of like cool, I guess. There's some stuff that I want to see more of, and some stuff that I wish they had taken more chances on.
Mm.
Uh, it feels like they just could have been a little more willing to take chances.
Yeah. Like if they'd killed off that character, that would have been a ballsy
Yeah.
move. That would
Like
have been ballsy as hell.
Feels like what's the best way? Like they tried to like appeal to everybody, but it literally just they did that by making it really uninteresting for
Yeah.
People who might really want to see a harsh reality lost in space.
Yeah, I mean, I've given I've been given shitter openings that I have binged and then love the series. So it's sci-fi. I'm gonna give it a chance because I genuinely love sci-fi as watching as a genre. I love it. I love the whole thing. I love all the questions that come up. I love all the sciencey stuff. I love it all. So I would definitely attempt to binge watch this. Whether I could do it or not would be a different matter of fact.
yeah, I've watched some that I'm just like, I'm done with this real soon. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would say if you're looking for a sci-fi family show, this is where you go.
Yeah, top 10 on it's sci-fi and it's about a family. Good job.
I mean, those are really the points that I feel like you're hitting with the sci-fi family show.
Yeah, they definitely nailed those ones. I think it has potential.
Agreed.
Potential. I would watch another episode to see if it got better, basically. Because most shows, the opening is always a bit, because they have to set so much up. There's only so much they can do in episode
which
one.
Yeah, I tried not to judge this one too harshly because it is episode 1.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
give it a fair shot at least.
Yeah, but based on just this episode, 2.5.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes.
We'll
see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, Netflix is supposed to be adding way more sci-fi.
That's true. Yeah, I think I saw another one that we need to add to our list. But for sure, I think once we finish this series, we should do a special one on the film because I haven't seen it. I know nothing about Lost in Space. Maybe I'll go, oh, the Lost in Space film is cool because I watched this new series. I don't know. We'll see it from a different perspective.
You're gonna see it from a whole new perspective.
Awesome.
Yeah. And quick thing, I want to ask you and the 5 people who are in this chat right now.
Hey guys.
Who thinks we should do occasionally special edition movie reviews? Because I have like 4 movies I think Volonda really has to see.
There are so many films I haven't watched and so many films I have watched that I also want you to watch. I have to find the name of this film. But I watched it when I was like 11 late at night on like BBC 2 when I was a kid, like properly late at night when I should not have been watching TV. And it's a film that's stuck with me since I've watched it, but I've never seen it since, so I need to hunt it down and we're going to watch it.
Okay. If you can find it, I will watch it.
Excellent.
I have watched some movies in my day.
I'm going to be out there. I'm not a big fan of B movies. I barely get through them with my other half, so just a warning. I have a low tolerance for shit films.
Some of them are gonna be B movies. That means all of them are gonna be B movies.
Oh no.
But here's the thing. I just assume we're gonna tear them apart.
Okay, I tried, this is how far I got right. So I love my half very much. He's the best thing in my life. He tried to make me watch Sharknado. I got 15 minutes in. And I'm like, I'm done. I love you, but if it's a choice between watching this and our marriage, you're gone. I couldn't do it. So,
okay, I know one movie right now that you're gonna watch 20 minutes of and be like, I'm done with this. And we're gonna review just the 20 minutes you saw. And then I'm gonna tell everybody what happened.
No, if you put a movie on, we've agreed if we're gonna do movies, we have to watch the entire thing. I will do it for the sake of art, but I might not thank you for it.
Well, I will apologize afterwards, I guess. Like, I'm sorry I made you watch that.
Yep, you will. I may have to watch it over a really long week. Like, I'm sorry, this is gonna take some time. I'll watch it as a mini-series.
There you go.
Alright, apparently Josh and Kit agree we should do the other things.
All right. You and I will talk about that off the chat because I actually have a goofy idea to do with
no.
that.
I'm scared already. we
Okay.
need to figure out how we're doing outros. We figured out intro, which is we bumble our way through it.
Well, I mean, that's kind of just how I do everything. I just bumble around. I'm
true.
basically the Will of Twitch streaming.
Yeah, yeah. The bumbling, like, let's give it
I
a go.
bumble around and stuff just works out for me. I'm kidding about the last part. It doesn't work out at all.
No.
All right. Well, outros. I guess let's first of all say who we are. So I will let you go first since you went first.
No, you can go first. We'll mirror.
Okay. We'll mirror. All right. Well, I have been Drew Tillman. I will no longer be Drew Tillman, just so you all know the answer to that question once we stop this stream. And you can find me on Taking Initiative or Talking Initiative.
Oh, wow. This is the proest of outros ever, my man.
No. I'm sorry. I looked at the chat and I broke. You can find me on Taking Initiative, and I have some stuff planned in the future that's going to happen. None of it which is set in stone yet, so I can't actually talk about it. But those of you who know, keep an eye out for announcements. I'm done.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. I was wondering if you're going to bumble a bit more. Kit, I love you so much. I love you so much.
I broke. So.
It's so good. Go check out us on Twitter. I forgot to put it on our overlay. I will put it on next week. Our Twitter is @CouchForIt. I want to say.
Yes, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's that.
Yeah, you'll find that. You'll also find us on @the_spark_net. Wow, that's really hard to say when I can't read what's going on.
_spark_net.
Yep. On Twitter. That's our parent. You can also she'll go check out the Discord for the Spark
Definitely
Network.
Check out the Discord.
You'll find links to that through the Spark Network's Twitter thing. What else? Tomorrow
there's the Spark Network website too.
Oh yeah, the Spark.network. Right?
Yes. It has everything. It's got all of the shows.
All of the shows. It has all of the shows on there. Next thing you'll find on here, I think, is Wreck and Rion.
Yeah, Wreck and Rion streams tomorrow night.
Launches again. It transferred from my other channel, the Bloodthirsty Puppets, over to here. So we're new launch, which has Casey, myself, Arch, Neil, and our friend Onyx, and I think Bucky's on this week too, right?
I'm pretty sure he is on this. Wait, no, he may have wrapped up.
Oh no, he did. I played the game and I forgot. He wraps. So it's just basically it's almost all the TOD crew plus Onyx. That's going to be on tomorrow night. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter at @blood_BTP. I am Volley. I will continue to be Volley, plus like the gazillion other names that I have. I generally answer to all you, so you can go with that too. I think that's probably it, right? Did I do all the shout-outs? Have I done all the things?
I think so. I mean, we hit the Spark, we hit the shows we're on, the Twitch stream. I think that's all of them.
I think we bummed our way through the exit. I think we've done this, Drew.
I think so. The next episode will be way better. As I said in the promo, you would think that neither of us know how to do anything related to podcasts.
Yeah. But this has been fun. It may be at least
Josh
half hour longer than we'd intended.
True. But there was a lot to get through.
There was.
And as Josh pointed out, the next Twitch stream for nope, that's not true, Josh. You're wrong. The next Twitch stream is tomorrow. Wreck and Rion premieres on the Spark Network Twitch.
Yep.
Then the following Friday is Talking Initiative.
Yeah. And apologize for anyone who's a very avid user of Twitch. We are going to fix the Twitch. I'm going to go through a quick how-to with Drew when we're done.
I don't know what I'm doing. I apologize to everyone who does.
But coming from 2 in the morning over here in the UK, it has been a blast and chill as hell and really fun. I'm so glad we decided to do this. I'm just not sure anyone should be glad that we decided to do this.
Don't say that. You'll give them ideas. They'll take back their support.
In that case, sorry. My bad.
That doesn't mean I'll stop doing this.
Shall we officially come to some sort of end?
Yeah, so that has been our opinion from this giant blue transatlantic couch. It's been very comfortable. It is a very big couch, and you were all great. Thank you for watching and listening.
Yep.
And you can find this next Friday as a podcast. on iTunes.
Yes, you absolutely can. So yeah,
And next,
you may.
also the next episode.
Yep. And the traditional greeting from my house. Sorry, greeting. Exit phrase from my house when I adore and love everybody there. But thank you very much for coming. But get the hell out of my couch. We'll see you at some point, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow. We'll see some of you tomorrow.
Next Friday we'll be back.